So thanks once again for dropping by the channel. If you like the content, if you're new to the channel, please hit subscribe, share the video. As always, if you enjoyed it, if you felt it was useful, as always, people, let's get into this. So, Dillian Whyte, Alexander Povetkin reportedly have a date finalised, November 21st, 13 weeks after the first fight. Now, let's talk about this. That's a quick turnaround. That's a quick turnaround. 13 weeks after the first fight. I mean, wow. That's just like, I remember when Ward fought Kovalev in the rematch, and I thought that's a quick turnaround for both guys. They fought in the end of November 2016. They're fighting again June 2017. That's reasonably quick for a rematch, because if you look at some rematches, Fury Wilder, Wilder Ortiz, I'm sure there's a couple of others that come to mind. Most rematches, they take, a year or so. In most cases anyway. Sometimes they take even longer. Even if the fight was good, sometimes they can drag on. So for this to happen 13 weeks after the first fight, that's pretty quick going there, people. Look, it's a good fight. It's a competitive fight. But there are red flags about this fight for one of the fighters, for Dillian Whyte. I'm going to give my prediction here and now. I'm going with Povetkin to win this rematch by knockout in similar fashion. Why? Because Dillian Whyte is what he is as a fighter. He's not like an Anthony Joshua. I'm using Anthony Joshua as an example because Anthony Joshua, when he fought Andy Ruiz, who was a similar style to Povetkin, different but similar. Povetkin is a little bit technically better and he's quicker feet. AJ could beat Andy Ruiz by using his height, his reach, staying defensive, staying cautious, and moving around the ring for 12 rounds. Dillian Whyte doesn't have Anthony Joshua's reach, doesn't have his speed, his foot speed, doesn't have his height. I can't see, and Andy Ruiz is slower footed than Povetkin. Povetkin's feet are not the quickest feet in the world now that he's turned 40. Well, they're still decent, but they're not the quickest. Still quicker than Andy Ruiz. AJ rematched Andy Ruiz. That's a quick turnaround. 6 months after the first fight, not 3 months. It's a big difference. AJ, although he was dropped 4 times in that rematch, they weren't as heavy as the one knockdown Dillian Whyte suffered. That knockout, where his body stiffened and he hit the canvas like a sack of potatoes. He knocked the polystyrene matchroom board off as well. His head hit off that. There has to be some residual trauma, at least a concussion. There has to be. People can say all they want about, well, G-Man, it wasn't a beating. It was a one punch, and they're not as bad as taking, if he took a 12-round beating, where the brain was getting knocked around all over everywhere, that could have been worse. I know myself for having watched boxing that yes, taking a sustained beating over 10-12 rounds is worse, but some of those one punch knockouts, they take a long time to recover from. They do. And you see fighters sometimes take months, maybe even a year, maybe even more. 2 years Amir Khan took out of the ring from that one punch from Canelo. Some fighters need that amount of time to get over a devastating knockout like that. Mental fatigue, mental scars, residual damage, your chin might not be the same. A lot of things need to be taken into consideration when you see a knockout like that. So the fact that Dillian Whyte is going into this fight 3 months later, way too soon. Way too soon in my opinion. And it's not even the fact that Dillian Whyte, you see, Dillian Whyte, even though it was never been announced, I suspect he probably suffered a concussion from that fight. Now, Michael Vernon Page, who was a Bellator fighter as well as a boxer, was knocked out badly in a Bellator fight, I think a year or so ago, and I think he said he wasn't right because he had a concussion. He said he wasn't right for something like 3-4 months. Now, I could be wrong, I could be a bit off with that, but in around that ballpark. Now, people could say, well, Dillian Whyte, look, it'll be 3 months when he gets in the ring with Povetkin. If there is any residual damage, it should be okay. Well, I'm not necessarily just talking about that fight. You do realise the man is going to have to spar, probably as soon as next week, if not now. Now, if there is concussive damage and he is going in there sparring, taking more headshots, that is not going to let that trauma heal. It's not. He's not going to let that. He's not going to let that, whatever it is, want to say concussion, whatever you want to say, it's not going to let that heal properly. All right, and that, as far as I'm concerned, is going to do him some damage. You're going into this rematch. Now, people could say, well, maybe Dillian Whyte will take it easy and spar. Maybe he'll body spar. I don't see that. Dillian Whyte is a fiery character. He's known for not holding back in the gym. I don't think that's going to happen. So Dillian Whyte, all these are red flags for me. If this fight had happened maybe February, March next year, I would probably still pick Povetkin, but I would have a little bit more confidence in saying Dillian Whyte's not completely out of this fight. But it's happened in November. No, I think that I can see only one outcome, which is Povetkin winning in similar fashion to the first fight. You see, remember as well, Povetkin will know that Dillian Whyte can hurt him. He was down twice in that fight. He will know that. But Povetkin knows as well he can get up. Dillian Whyte knows that Povetkin can knock him out with one shot if he makes a mistake. Povetkin knows that too. Can end the fight one shot. That is probably a bigger barrier to get over for Dillian Whyte than it would be for Povetkin. Povetkin knows, okay, this guy can hurt me. Well, all heavyweights can hurt me. Heavyweights are big guys, they can hit hard. I can get up. He can't. I can knock him out with one punch. And Povetkin, some people would say his age, is he slowing down? As I said, if this fight had happened next year at some stage, I would be very, very more confident picking Dillian Whyte, because Povetkin's age is a factor in activity out of the ring. When you're older, it takes it out of you. You see it more in older guys when they're at the ring for an extended period of time in ring rust. He won't have any ring rust in this fight. 3 months. It's going to be no ring rust. It's going to be, it's not going to be a factor for Povetkin, nor Dillian Whyte, actually, to be fair. But all these are red flags to me. It's too soon, in my opinion. They really need to leave this fight to settle. Now, I will watch it. It's a good fight. But I think that to give Dillian Whyte the best chance of winning, maybe he should have looked at it and said, you know what, let's hold off a bit. Let's let things die down a bit. Let's hold off a bit. But going straight into a rematch, I think this could end very badly for Dillian Whyte. Very, very, very badly. Very badly. And as well as that, Dillian Whyte in interviews straight after the fight was saying that, when they meet again, he's going for the knockout. He's going to knock Povetkin out. If you go for the knockout, and Dillian Whyte, as we say, doesn't have the quickest feet in the world. If you go for the knockout, you leave yourself open to getting countered. You leave yourself open to getting hit with shots that have knocked you out. So if I was Xavier Miller, I'd be saying, mate, hold it, bring it back a bit. We need to understand what we're in there against. We need to understand what we did wrong in the first fight. We don't need to be going in there all guns blazing, thinking, right, I'm going to make us. I need to, make a statement for what he did to me. Make a statement by boxing this guy's head off, not engaging with him, trying to get him out of there, and risk getting knocked out again. That's what I'd be telling Dillian Whyte if I was Xavier Miller. And Xavier Miller was trying to tell him that to an extent in the first fight, but obviously Dillian Whyte didn't listen. So, as I said, I kind of pretty much done a breakdown of this fight more so than I've given my 2 cents on the rematch. But yeah, we should get the announcement in the coming days. And obviously, I'm going to probably do a let's talk about boxing this evening. So I'm only getting one video today. I'll probably get a stream this evening. I'm going to be doing the odds. I'm going to look at the odds on Bet365 for this fight and see what it's like. I'll definitely do that. So stay tuned. That's probably coming about 8 or 9 this evening, depending on how busy I am. Let me know your thoughts on this rematch down below. Who do you have? Leave it in the comments section. Let me know what you thought of the video. I hope you all enjoyed it as much as I enjoyed making it. As always, people, stay safe. I'll talk to you. Peace.